So the next question I actually have for you is more gear related, and it's something that I'm really interested in asking. So it's your signature Titans with Dimarzio. So I remember the first time I tried. I mean, when I first got the JBM 100, I tried it. I couldn't
Thank
believe
you.
my ears. Oh yeah, it's amazing. I don't really dare to play that guitar a lot because I don't want to ding it. It's so beautiful all
Yeah,
around.
but look, man, like, you gotta ding it. It's how you get character. Look at there's all these dings. Look at this one.
Oh damn, that must be your belt or something, no?
Oh, it's just I don't know what it is. It's just, but it's you got to put a little love on it. I mean, unless you want to resell it, uh, yeah, I mean, like all my guitars have love scratches on them.
But
But yeah,
but
sorry, you were saying.
but you're Jake. You're allowed to like ding Jake's guitar, you know. I don't want to ding Jake's
I mean, I
guitar.
don't want it, but it just happens. And I'm just like, oh, that's nice. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. All right. Well, so back to the point I was trying to make. I couldn't believe my ears when I heard like the amount of clarity that, the pickups have. And like I was literally trying to break those pickups. I was like boosting the gain. I was like boosting whatever that you usually wouldn't to make sure that the sound stays together. But I was literally trying to push the pickup as much as I could, and like it just blew my mind away. And that's why it's like I've declared like it's my favorite pickup ever.
Oh, thank you very much.
and,
I'm glad you like it.
and
It's really like I've had that pickup since probably like 2013, I think, is when we designed it,
mhm.
and it's just done everything that I've needed it to do. I'm at the point where it's just like I want to make a new one just because I'm like, wow, like, oh, I want to see if there's anything else that I can do with Dimarzio, because like that pickup really does everything that I need it to do. And I'm glad that you found enjoyment in using it, and I'm never going to stop using it. Like it's my favorite pickup too. Um, but uh, but yeah, it was a fun process making it with them because they made it so easy. Like they just like sent me a couple of sets of pickups, slightly different from one another, and I tried them all, and I picked one. Then they sent me another revision of that, and then that one was perfect, and then that was the one that we went with, and that became kind of like the main part of my signature guitar with Ibanez. So I love those pickups, man. They're really nice.
Well, I second that. I mean, they're like absolutely amazing, and there's a reason why, they're like my favorite pickups. And I think I told you before, but I actually considered, swapping all my other pickups to the Titans as well. The only concern is, which is also the question I have for you, is that how different are the 6, 7s, and 8s tone wise? I mean, obviously, because there's always that question about, 8-string or 7-string pickups not being able to kind of match the true sound of the 6. So when it comes to your pickups, do you personally think that there's a difference between the 7s, 8s, and the 6?
Yeah, there's a big difference. I actually the 8-string isn't available to the public. I think like if you were to pay a premium, this is when this is not when a pandemic is going on, because I don't think they're open right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted it, they did do an 8-string set. I have it right here. I'm gonna try not to break anything here. There we go. This is the only well, actually, no. There's another set, I think, in one of my other 8-strings, but this was just kind of like a one-off that they did for me for this LA custom shop 8-string that I have. So you can't really get these, which I understand why, because they just don't sell enough to make it worth making a whole line of 8-string pickups. But as far as the 7-string and the 6-string goes, which you can get, they sound pretty different. And I think that the 7-string one is a bit more aggressive, and that might be due to the fact that it's just physically a bigger magnet. So that makes it a little bit hotter. And I actually I don't prefer one over the other because I think they're both perfectly at home in the 6 and in the 7, but they are different flavors. So if you're hoping for it to sound, if you get the 7-string one, hoping for it to sound like the 6-string one, that may not be what you're looking for. So that's the one thing I'll say about that. However, I really, if you have a 7-string guitar, I urge you to try the 7-string pickups just because they feel so good to play. And I use them for everything, like leads and cleans and rhythms and everything. And you can really experiment with the different positions and get kind of a wide range of sounds out of them. So I like them. They're I guess that's why they're my signature pickup.
Well, you have to like them. I mean, if you don't like them, then we're all in trouble, no?
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I'll say is that I also have an Indonesian line of Ibanez guitars, and they have the actual Dimarzio signature Titan pickups in them. So a lot of like lower price point guitars will try to get away with doing kind of like a similar pickup, but like not go with the high end equipment. But we were able to figure out a way to get that signature pickup into the Indonesian model Ibanez's. Just for those out there that didn't know that, or if we're considering getting one but didn't, I just think they were able to cram a lot of value into the Indonesian one, so I wanted to mention that.
Oh yeah, I did notice that as well. Like you said, obviously apart from like the fretboard, but I think the main thing is, I think the important thing when getting your guitar is to have the actual Titans there, because I think apart from the awesome shape, the awesome design, the awesome finish, painted neck, I think it's really the how the pickups were designed that really makes the guitar so unique in terms of sound. And I think it would be a shame if the Indonesian models had like a similar pickup that sounded kind of like your pickup. So that's kind of awesome.
I think the pickups are probably like the most important part of the sound of the guitar. At least my guitars. But so I think it's very important to keep that in mind.
That's very true. And so then you mentioned that the pickups sound fairly different between the 6 and 7. So were they developed differently, or were they were developed differently?
Yeah. So I got the 6-string set done in 2013 when we did my signature JBM 100, and then maybe a year or two after that, we did the JBM 20 and the JBM 27, which are kind of like the Indonesian versions of the Japanese Ibanez. And so when the JBM 27 was coming out, I'm like, hey, like, can we do a 7-string version for that? And they were able to they sent me a set. This was different. This was at a different point than when they sent me the first 6-string set. So I was in a different headspace than what I liked at that point. So I think that's a big reason why the 6 and the 7 sound different, or at least, but they're just going to sound different anyways, just because 6 and 7s they're very different guitars. Even on any brand, I find that playing. And it's one of the reasons why I prefer playing 6 over 7, because tonally, I can get what I want out of a 6 more than I can out of a 7. So, but I still love playing 7. I just prefer playing 6. But yeah, I think the biggest difference why they sound different is because they were just developed probably a year or two apart.
Okay, and yeah, like you said, you're looking for different things, and you tweak according to what you feel at that time, I would think.
Yeah, you grow as a musician. So sorry, my laundry is done.
Do you need to get it?
No, I don't think anybody's in there today.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, like I forgot what I was saying.
I got distracted as well. I was like thinking laundry.
Yeah. We were talking about pickups, and I lost my thought.
We were talking about. I mean, we were talking about you being in a different space, and then you get more out of a 6 than you
I
do
remember what I was saying. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. You as time goes on, your tastes evolve, and it's one of the big reasons why